guys, how are ya? I hope that you're absolutely fantastic, you're stupendous and fabulous and terrific and all that great stuff. Today's video is a little bit different. It is basically just one really long talking head video of this talking head, so if you don't like those sorts of videos or you don't like this talking head, then please feel free to just switch off now. This one is sort of a follow-up to one of my previous videos, which was about acne pills, and I asked you guys if you wanted to hear about what my experience was with Roaccutane, and quite a few said yes please, so that's what this is all about. Okay, so starting from the beginning, I did actually go on Roaccutane quite a long time ago when I was probably about 15 or 16. I feel like I have tried everything up until that point. I hadn't, that's another story for another day. Living with my mum, she also felt really stressed out because I was really stressed out, and we went to a dermatologist to try and find out what could be done about my skin. And as you probably know, dermatologists aren't cheap. They are very, very expensive. They cost hundreds of dollars per visit, and the medications that they can give you prescriptions for also cost hundreds of dollars sometimes. So it was a really, really long process just even getting onto Roaccutane. The thing with Roaccutane and Accutane is that you don't know what's going to happen when you go on it. Apart from hoping like hell that it's going to get rid of your acne and your skin problems. And even then it's not a guarantee. In terms of side effects, there are very, very minimal side effects, but then there are quite major significant ones as well, and you don't know what you're going to get. It's different for quite a lot of people. Some people get absolutely nothing and they breeze on through and they have fantastic skin afterwards, and I wish that I was one of those people. I was in high school. I think my first week of it was okay. It was okay, like after maybe a few days, maybe a few sort of things started happening. I noticed that my skin got extremely dry, which is a very, very common side effect of it. My skin got extremely dry, and my lips as well. I got really dry, cracked lips. And the thing is, you know, people say that, you know, you might get dry skin and cracked lips, and it's sort of like, well, just slap on some moisturizer and some lip balm. What are you complaining about? It's on another level. It's like, it's almost like no amount of moisturizer or lip balm can even touch what is happening to your face and to your skin when you're on this stuff. And maybe it only works for a couple of hours if you're lucky, and then afterwards you're back to square one. You're back to super dry, flaky skin and bleeding lips. It's not fun. Really, really isn't fun, especially when you're in high school and you're going through something like this. I had to go to school with my face looking just atrocious and people staring at me wondering what the hell was wrong with me. Doesn't really help your self-esteem at all. I also started getting styes in my eyes really, really badly, and I would try, and that was one of the most embarrassing things about being on Roaccutane for me, because when you look at somebody, you see their face first, obviously, but you also look in their eyes. You look in their eyes when you're talking to them, and when I had styes just lining all of my eyes, it was just horrible, and I was so embarrassed, and I basically went through quite a long period of time there in high school wearing blue glasses. Like, I had to wear glasses anyway, but I also got these blue lensed sunglasses that I would wear inside and out, and people would be like, why are you wearing those blue glasses? What's wrong with you? And I'd be like, don't look at me. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. I'm not wearing it for any reason. It's completely normal. Stop looking at me. And yeah, it was really awful. I'd try and, God, this is so horrible, but I'd try and pop them and get rid of them in the morning before I went to school. But then halfway through the school day, I've got them back again. And I remember sitting in class one day, and I'm talking to this guy that I kind of had a crush on, and he's just staring at me, and I'm like, why are you staring at me like that? And he's like, you know you've got styes in your eyes? Ugh, horrified. I was horrified, and I just had to turn away from him, and oh yeah, it was epic embarrassment all the time. I think I also got just horrendous dandruff around that time as well, which was equally embarrassing because I would do absolutely anything I could to get rid of the dandruff and it would not budge. I'd have it constantly and I'd spend every morning with my head flipped over and trying to brush all the dried skin out of my head, and it just disgusting. I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was very, very distraught. So this happened for a few months and I visited the dermatologist a few times during that time frame of being on Roaccutane. The side effects that I was getting from it were getting worse and worse, and I was really, really struggling with it. My mum wanted to take me off it, but I wanted to finish the course of Roaccutane because if you don't finish it, then it's almost like, what's the point in going on it? I think my skin was getting better. Very, very slowly it was starting to get better. I didn't have as much acne as I had before, so that's why I wanted to stay on it. That's what kept me going with it. Probably around 3 or 4 months down the track, I started having some really significant issues from it, and there was one event that happened where my mum just went, that's it, we're done, I'm getting you off this stuff, that's it. And this is really embarrassing to talk about it, but I think I better. I was having a shower, I asked Mum to get me something, or she walked in or something like that, and she was talking to me while I was showering, and then I said something to her that was really incoherent. She couldn't understand what I was saying. She's like, "Jess, are you alright?" And then I blacked out, and I can remember, like I can still remember what happened. I completely blacked out of the shower and my whole body just gave way, and I hit my head on the shower, and Mum freaked out and screamed and grabbed me out of the shower and turned it all off, and then I don't remember after that, but I just remember waking up in bed and Mum's just at her wit's end and really stressed out and worried about me and couldn't understand what just happened, and the only thing that we could put it down to was the Roaccutane, because nothing else about me had changed, nothing like that had ever happened in my life. I didn't have any medical issues, and she just said, that's it, we're done. I'm taking you off that, you're never going on that ever again, we're done. And I was really angry because I wanted to finish my course of Accutane. I'm like, oh my god, I've been on this for so many months, I can't turn off it now, like, but I had to. I had other issues as well that were even worse than that, but I don't really want to talk about those. Yeah, even worse than blacking out, okay? It was a really difficult time in my life, being 15, 16, super hormonal, going on this heavy duty medication to deal with my skin. I was extremely self-conscious. I was depressed. That's something else that happened when I was on it. I mean, I was already sort of not exactly a happy chappy person all the time, but being on Roaccutane really affected me and I got quite depressed. I was going through a whole lot of other social issues at the time as well, and that definitely, everything just becomes worse when you're on Roaccutane. If you were only slightly depressed before, you go on this stuff and you can be incredibly so deep in depression, it's really, really hard to pull yourself out of it. I wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. So I just wanted to share this with you, share my story, my experience. I think that's important to do. At the same time, I don't want you to look at this video or hear me and sort of go, oh shit, well I don't really want to go on that anymore after what she said. I don't want to be blacking out randomly. And I say that for a few reasons. Number one, this happened a long time ago, 15, 16, so that's over 10 years ago now. I don't know if they've changed the formulation these days. Also, if you are at your absolute wit's end and you have tried absolutely everything, then try it. Honestly, go see a dermatologist and talk to them. I think it is something that dermatologists do sort of swing towards putting their clientele on more than anything else, because it's pretty easy to prescribe somebody a tablet and tell them, there you go, take this for the next year and I'll see you later. But it can do some fantastic things, and I have seen it do some fantastic things to other people. There are other girls on here as well on YouTube. There are lots of videos of people who have taken Roaccutane and Accutane and had the most spectacular, fantastic results. So it can work for people, and that's why I say that don't sort of completely turn yourself off it because of what I went through. I just wanted to offer my experience, and so that you are well informed and you have got another opinion, and I really hope that this does help perhaps guide some people in their journeys to get clear skin, because it is a journey. It is very, very difficult. I still struggle. Roaccutane wasn't the thing for me. It wasn't my thing. But I'm glad that I did go on it, because at least now I know it's not my thing. Having said that, even a few months ago when I got really severe, fantastic cystic acne again, and I was so not happy about it, I was really tempted to go to a dermatologist and say, I want to go on Roaccutane. I want to do it again. I want to try it. Luckily I didn't have to. Luckily I found something else that did work for me topically, and I didn't have to take any sort of medication for it. I was blessed in that regards. But yeah, I still struggle with pimples. I've still got scarring, all that sort of jazz, all that fun stuff. But yeah, anyway, this has been a really, really long video. If you have stuck around to the end, thank you. I hope that I have been able to help and offer a little bit of guidance. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, feel free to leave them for me down below. If you want to be anonymous, you can always contact me anonymously on my Tumblr. I've got an Ask Me on my Tumblr. And yeah, you can send me messages on Facebook and even here on YouTube. It's totally cool, whatever you want to do. Okay guys, thank you so very much for your time today. I hope you do have a fabulous rest of the week, and I will catch up with you later. See ya!